Good morning, Lake Elementary. This is for those of you who could not join us and would have liked to, or those of you that did join us and don't remember that you did. I am going to take you through Chapter 1 of The Lightning Thief recap. Okay, so in Chapter 1, we get to meet the one, the only, Percy Jackson, who's got it all together. Not even close. He even referred to himself as troubled. So it's not a good start. And he attends Yancey Academy, which is a school for students like him that have just continued to get in trouble and always be in the wrong spot at the wrong time. And it starts out on a field trip to a museum. And he is just hoping nothing goes wrong like in the past, where he's caused some major issues. And like most stories, Percy already has an enemy in the form of Nancy Bobofit, who just really fries Percy's potatoes. And she continues to pick on Percy's only friend, Grover, who they even refer to in the book as an easy target, just by how Grover is. But there is a positive for Percy. Mr. Brunner is his Latin teacher who is in charge of the field trip, and Percy seems to like him. Mr. Brunner continues to push Percy and always wants him to do better, especially better than Percy thinks he can. Then there's Mrs. Dodds, or as all the other students and teachers in Yancey Academy would refer to as who? Mrs. Dodds is Percy's pre-algebra teacher, and she's got a let's say a strong side to her when she gets angry, because Percy somehow pushes Nancy Bobofit into the water, although he claims he didn't touch her, and other people in the story are sharing he didn't touch her. But Mrs. Dodds calls Percy into the museum, and they're all by themselves. And then out of nowhere, Mrs. Dodds turns into a monster creature with talons. These are my talons. Ready to slice up Percy and just take him down. But Percy's all caught off guard. But Mr. Brunner comes to the save of the day, throws him in. The only thing that could save him is, that wasn't it, a pen. Mr. Brunner throws Percy a pen. He was going to write her away, just like Hamilton. Like that. However, when the cap came off, the pen turned into a sword, and Percy right to Mrs. Dodds, and she was vaporized right before Mrs. Dodds could get Percy. And just when you thought it couldn't get any crazier than that, this happened, and then nobody ever acknowledged that it happened. Percy was the only one who ever had anything to say about it, and nobody else even acknowledged that Mrs. Dodds was ever a teacher at Yancey Academy. But Percy still felt that this really happened. So there you have it, your short recap of Chapter 1 with Percy Jackson. So you have met Percy, Grover, Mr. Brunner, Mrs. Dodds, sort of, and of course, Nancy Bobofit. Tune in next time for Chapter 2 of The Lightning Thief. Thank you for joining us.